Welcome to my YouTube channel, Road Rider. Today we're taking a deep, no-holds-barred look at the 2025 Yamaha YZF-R7. If you're thinking about a middleweight supersport that blends everyday usability with genuine corner-carving excitement, this bike sits squarely in that sweet spot. Over the next several minutes, I'll walk you through design, engine, chassis, electronics, ergonomics, real-world performance, and who this bike is really for, plus riding impressions. Common caveats and practical tips if you plan to buy one. Let's jump in. First impressions matter, and the R7 nails the R family look while keeping a compact, purposeful silhouette. Yamaha designed the R7 to visually echo the flagship R1 without the excess. Slim bodywork, aggressive front intake, and an M-shaped duct that gives the face a focused, hungry stance. The bike's proportions are intentionally narrow. That helps flickability through traffic and on twisty roads, while the short tail and rider-forward profile promise a sporty feel without being punishing for everyday use. Underneath that styling is Yamaha's proven CP2 parallel twin, a 689cc, 270-degree crank engine that's famous for its torque-rich and tractable power delivery. In stock trim, the engine produces roughly 73 horsepower. At peak and around 65-67 nm, about 48 lb-ft. Give torque, numbers that translate to lively. Acceleration in the real world without the hair-raising. Top end of a full superbike. That middleweight power band is what makes the R7 so appealing. It's responsive and engaging on twisty roads, friendly in town, and approachable for riders stepping up from smaller bikes. So cycles! The chassis is where the R7's character comes alive. Yamaha uses a high-strength steel tubular frame with an aluminum center brace tuned for a balance of rigidity and rider feedback. The geometry is compact and designed to reward quick direction changes. The front end features a fully adjustable inverted 41mm KYB fork with settings for compression, rebound, and preload. Not just show, but genuinely tunable suspension that lets you dial in front-end feel for sportier rides or firmer track work. Electronics on the 2025 R7 are pragmatic rather than overkill. Yamaha equips the bike with rider-friendly aids like switchable traction control, selectable ride modes, and an assist and slipper clutch that makes aggressive downshifts and quick deceleration less scary. There's an optional quick shift system, QSS, available for clutchless upshifts, handy on track days and spirited runs, and a tidy 5-inch TFT display on many markets that brings smartphone connectivity for basic notifications and ride data. Importantly, Yamaha kept the R7's electronics suite focused on enhancing confidence and controllability rather than overwhelming the rider with a dozen adjustable parameters, a design choice that suits the bike's mission as an approachable yet serious sport bike. Note: Yamaha rolled out a more advanced IMU-driven electronics package on the next-generation R7 2026 refresh, with cornering ABS, slide control, and more sophisticated YRC features. Something to watch if you want the absolute latest tech. Practical details that matter day to day. The R7's ergos strike a thoughtful balance. The seating position is sport-oriented. You feel planted over the front wheel. But Yamaha avoided the extreme tuck of full race bikes. For many riders, the seat height and handlebar position translate to manageable weight distribution on longer rides, and the slim tank area makes shifting body weight easier when you're hustling through corners. Fuel economy tends to be very reasonable for a two-cylinder sport bike. Expect strong range if you ride conservatively, and plan for more frequent stops if you're consistently at the whip end of the tach. The R7 comes with standard conveniences like LED lighting and a clear instrument cluster. Luggage and touring accessories are available, but this bike is happiest when you keep it lean. On the road, the R7's personality is immediately obvious. It's playful, precise, and communicative. The CP2's punchy mid-range gives real usable acceleration out of corners, while the chassis and suspension let you skate from apex to apex with little drama. Compared to heavier or more powerful middleweights, the R7 rewards momentum and chassis finesse rather than brute horsepower. For canyon runs and technical track sessions, it's a delight. Neutral steering, quick turn-in, and a composed chassis make you feel like you can push without being punished. For commuting or urban riding, the bike remains competent. The narrow profile aids lane filtering, and the smooth throttle makes stop-start traffic far less fatiguing than a full-on superbike. If you're thinking track days, the 2025 R7 is a strong candidate for new track riders and experienced riders who want a lighter, more forgiving platform. The optional quick shifter is worth considering if you'll be using the bike aggressively, and suspension upgrades, or careful setup, will extract more consistency on the limit. For a weekend track bike that doubles as a truly usable street machine, the R7 checks a lot of boxes, and at its entry price point, it carved a very compelling niche in the market. MSRP in the US for the 2025 model was announced at about $9,199, which positions it attractively against rivals while offering premium chassis components and Yamaha's engineering pedigree. Let's talk competitors and context because that affects whether the R7 is right for you. The mid-displacement sport bike world is crowded. Triumph's middleweights, Kawasaki's smaller bore sport offerings, and entry-level supersport models all vie for attention. What sets the R7 apart is its balance. It's neither anemic nor overcomplicated. Riders who want a bike that teaches better lines and throttle control, because it's not just wheel spin and top end, will appreciate the R7's temperament, ownership, and maintenance considerations are straightforward. Yamaha's CP2 engine is widely regarded as reliable, parts are generally available, and servicing intervals are standard for modern sport bikes. Because the R7 sits on Yamaha's global platform, aftermarket support is healthy. From performance exhausts to suspension tuning packages and rider comfort accessories. Now for some riding tips and real-world caveats. The CP2 gives fantastic mid-range torque, but don't forget that it's a sporting engine that likes to rev. Cadence matters. Smooth, progressive throttle inputs yield the best balance of traction and speed through corner exits. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace out.